Valheim devs are giving us another sneak peek in their development blog for October. They talk about how it's been really inspiring for them to see how everyone is using the new building pieces and how creative it is. And they love seeing the reactions, especially to things that were a bit of a surprise, like the, spoiler, Locke's writing. They've really enjoyed getting out their first big update. They're definitely always working on more bug fixes and balancing adjustments. But they're also beginning to look ahead. They make clear that their next area of focus is going to be more on adventure and exploration than on building. They mentioned that Richard had recently posted this picture on Twitter about working on the terrain and textures for the Mistlands. And that's included in one of the update vids that I did recently. You can check it out at the link above. But they kind of give us a warning here. They say, however, please keep in mind that this is not a final version and that the landscape will likely change quite a bit before we figure out just exactly what the Mistlands will look like. So I'm thinking if you're making builds in the Mistlands right now, you probably should do it with a grain of salt, knowing that there's a good chance that your environment's going to change. And they also kind of give us a heads up again that it's also still too early to say what the implementation of the Mistlands will mean for your existing worlds, but we will keep you updated once we know more. This says to me that at some point there's a strong possibility that we're going to have a map reset, which honestly I just kind of expect to happen at some point when you're playing an early access game. They're going to be making big changes. We got to be willing to adjust. This next part is pretty exciting. Although they're working on Mistlands, which is going to be the biggest update coming next, they're also looking at smaller updates. And this is kind of one of the first clues that we got about what some of these smaller updates might mean. They say, currently our Dungeon Master Eric is teaming up with the art department to work on something to make the mountains a bit more interesting, especially for those of you who love to explore new places. There is no final version of what this will look like yet, but we thought we'd show you some concept art to convey the general feeling. This is cool, maybe even cold in the mountains. Get it? It looks like we're actually going to get caves in the mountain. I know a lot of people have been wanting caves for quite a while. You can't really tell from this concept art, but it's possible that these will be an area that you go into, like the swamp crypts or the troll caves. The second picture seems to be showing some kind of statue, and I think the statue's made out of ice because it seems a little bit translucent here. It might be a wolf head. You know, Grimcore has talked about wanting to have mini bosses in the game, and I wonder if this could be one of those. He's mentioned how it would be cool to have like mini bosses that just wander around the world and you can run into them anywhere. So it would make sense that they would take a creature that's already in the game and level it up to be some kind of a mini boss that you can run into in that biome. So not only could you end up being hunted in the mountains, you could also run into some kind of giant snarling red evil wolf mini boss. They also point out that the jack-o'-turnip is in the game right now. And remember that this is a seasonal item, so it won't be here forever. Build it while you can. Let me know your thoughts on these sneak peeks. And happy gaming!